Hello. You got a chat. Chat still got to load in. There we go. All right, we're turning off some of the streams here. So we only got this one on. That one down just a tiny bit. And we are live. Hello. Welcome back to another stream of mine. Today is going to be about many things. Mainly North Korea. Let's get through the topics. Alright, we'll get to it all. So, there's a lot to go through. A lot of actions today. So, we'll start from the top here, and we'll work our way down here. So, Ukrainian drones have been hitting Moscow. We have a supposed video here of, how you doing, Michael? Of a, what appears to be a drone flying over, or a missile, or something. We know of can hit Moscow from Ukraine as drones, and that's what they're doing now is going through and hitting that. So we also had that the U.S. Department released an update to its level 4 do not travel advisory for Belarus today, stating that any Americans in 21 hours ago still in the country should plan to leave immediately due to possibility that Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia could close the border. So we're talking about this, and I said it, and I was like, you know, I doing 86. We're talking about. I said it. You know, I said this was going to happen. They're going to close the border. You know, reason why I think the U.S. has been told they're going to close the border. They want the Poland wants Baltics. Poland want them to get out of the country. They want to be nice, and that's, you know, what we're looking at now. And if you travel to Belarus now, you do not have a chance to get out. I'm doing fine, Michael. The chances of you getting out, having traveled into Ukraine, is very low. So do not travel. Sorry, not Ukraine, Belarus. So do not travel to Belarus. I don't know if any of you were planning to travel, but yeah, don't. The Nesk has been on since this morning. Let's turn completely blood red right there. We have an RX-12 guardrail. There's been multiple amount of airborne elements over South Korea, as South Korea and the U.S. are conducting drills and other things like that. There was a recon plane over as well, and they're doing all kinds of things over there. We have another report here. So if you are tomorrow seeing videos coming in, how you doing, Elgin? Seeing videos tomorrow of air raids going on in South Korea, don't worry, it is just a test. There will be how you doing, Witchy? There will be tests tomorrow in South Korea. So if you are seeing videos or people stating or going like crazy on Twitter saying like, oh, there's fucking air raids going on in Ukraine, in South Korea, you know, do not worry. It is a self defense drill, you could say that, right? But I got the report here. So there's also other things going on. The Japanese government is reporting that a satellite launched by North Korea is imminent with the Japanese self-defense forces being placed on high alert in case the missile carrying the satellite needs to be shut down due to crossings into they don't want it to cross into Japan, and they're saying, you know, if you conduct this missile test, if you do it or you fly it over Japan, you cannot verify that it is not a direct threat against us, therefore it will be shut down. That is what's happening here. Residents have been told to listen to air raid sirens for the coming days, to take shelter immediately, as they've heard instructions to follow with this. Wait, was it South Korea or Japan? Was it Japan? Oh, it was Japan. It's Japan. My bad, guys. I said South Korea. I meant Japan. How you guys doing? There was a Boeing RC river joint that actually went very close to Russian border. We have a picture here. Again, thank you so much for Witchy. Give a round of applause for Witchy to supplying all these images, going through all day, just sitting there. Now, this river joint right here, we're pretty sure is flying actively in Norway right now. Well, not right now, but have been flying actively since yesterday in the area around Norway and alongside an E3. So we're seeing a lot of that happening at the moment. A lot of surveillance. I mean, I was talking about this yesterday. You know, a lot of surveillance. You know, this is getting pretty close to the Russian mainland here. I mean, there's lots of Russian planes up as well. We got a weird ass looking plane up as well. The one thing that I've always found weird when so this plane right here right now is up. And look at that. No idea what this is. It's got 2 jet turbines in front. I've never seen that one before. I'll search it up, see what it is. I'm not that much of a plane expert. It's quite windy in Ukraine today, I think, what we're hearing. Yes, round of applause. The aircraft's main purpose is to deliver cargo, equipment, and personnel over short, medium-range routes in any climate condition, ranging from 60- degrees to 45 degrees. That is minus 76 Fahrenheit or 113 Fahrenheit at any altitude, including the North Pole and high altitude. It's quite a hefty plane, you know. Just get to see. Well, it's nice, you know. You just send random stuff to me, and I can use it because it is quite important knowledge. But you know, Witchy 51 World News at its best, yeah. We have a mill. It's been that was just that. Look at that. That took off basically just from there, but that's obviously not unimportant. But the implications of this one right here is to deploy cargo or troops in medium-range territory. Again, that's quite something, right? We got NATO 21, which is an E3, doing rounds around. Norway's been there since pretty much yesterday. We know that a river joint is flying around here. We know that there's a river joint in Norway. Lots of planes up earlier as well. Record high day for air activity in Russia. Really, I mean, I counted like 6 planes over Russia, which is like a pretty record high. We got some E3s right there. Let's check over America. Lots of surveillance going on all over. We got a river joint, Cobra river joint, going to Alaska. Another river joint. I mean, if the Russians are now implicating the factor that they can actually get stuff from, you know, China, they're gonna move on it. And I think what they're conducting right now is one of the largest air operations in a long time that Russia has been conducting, because they are now realizing, oh shit, we can actually get stuff from, you know, China. So why don't we get stuff from China? Why don't we just fly a shit ton of planes over there so we can get the stuff from China? You know, it's a miracle no one has died yet. Well, that's a lie. Well, that's what's going on Flight Trader. I'll check 88p here in the background. Meanwhile, let's get on with the news here. There was some more news that we wanted to get in here. So yeah, there was that one, and then there were explosions in Crimea are reported. Air defense is active on Crimean Bridge. Seems that the bridge is still resting and is, FYI, under fucking attack once more, or it was. More than 90% of Ukrainians are not ready to recognize the occupied territory as part of Russia for the sake of ending the war, pulled the Democratic Interactive Foundation. So yeah, obviously you're not. I mean, if you had a family member that died doing this, or you know, you're patriotic. I mean, most Ukrainians nowadays are very patriotic, you know. The U.S. and South Korea is conducting drills, and I'm pretty sure Japan is also conducting some kind of drills with them. But although that is also true, Japan and U.S. conduct drills pretty much 24/7. So I mean, they're very active when it comes to drills. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that MQ-9 Reaper and TB-2 Baraki drones were recorded over the Black Sea. UAV conducted, by the way, an MQ-9 Reaper is a U.S. drone. Wait, right? Yeah, it's a U.S. drone. It's got a lot of guns. So this one right here is a U.S. drone, and it's got a lot of drone. It's one of those standard kind of drones you look at. They look like this. Well, that's not exactly how they look like, but they look like that. That's an MQ-9 Reaper. They got a lot of guns, or they're quite deadly in its meritism. But enough of that. The property of the family Russian military, Russian main missile the property of the family of the main Russian missile manufacturer Boris Opsnovos was seized in Czech Republic, reports to Czech media. Journalists found out that the head of the corporation Tactical Missile Armament, which produces missiles for strikes in Ukraine, has been apparently seized / arrested, right? So, it's great for Russian armor as Ukraine gets ready for Independence Day. Yeah. This is, as well. And I just want to show you this right here as well, right? This is not even destroyed Russian equipment right here, guys. Guys, this is actually functional Russian equipment right here. This is top of the line, guys. This right here, that one right there, that's totally workable. I mean, that one right there, they're in Kyiv right now, guys. They're Russians and they're in Kyiv, and this is their newest models. You can clearly see just how amazing, they are. Just how, By the way, Ukraine's preparing for Independence Day, as we said there before. Lots of flags and everything going up. I mean, looking around in Kyiv, you wouldn't think a war's going on. That's how tough they are. That one right there they would use, but I think that one is functional. That one looks like it's just left, or it's. That one looks functional. I'll be honest. And those ones down there, but I think these ones might be functional actually, and these are actually Ukrainians or something like that. I think maybe they're Russian but seized by Ukraine or something like that. They're definitely something. These are artillery systems right there. They're quite big ass motherfucking guns. I never understood the factor of why Russia had artillery pieces inside of Kyiv, but we won't discuss Russian tactics here because it would take me. Well, actually, it wouldn't take me that long. The main Russian strategic goal is being stupid as fuck, so. Putin addressed the BRICS summit via video as he is afraid to attend in person. He's also afraid to use his own voice, it seems. The video published by Russian news media used to change voice. Meanwhile, the video on the Kremlin used is Putin.
Дамы и господа, дорогие друзья.
Государственные структуры бизнеса, экспертов и отраслевых специалистов, которые собрались на встречу деловых.
They're not afraid. He's not afraid to use his voice. The reason why he's doing that is because he wants BRICS to think that he is the leader of everything. He could also just be a mess up with the sound system. I mean, let's be honest. But although it is right, this is him wanting them to think, because he thinks that they are so stupid that they think that is his actual voice.
Как и системная работа делового совета БРИКС.
So, Putin never speaks English unless he really has to.
Дамы и господа, дорогие друзья, рад приветствовать представителей государственных структур и бизнеса.
You also see, I mean, there's still the whole speculation thing about if he's sick or something like that. But every single second of every single talk he has nowadays, it seems to be, he's probably under a lot of stress. I would imagine. I mean, I'd be under a lot of stress if I was him, right? But like one sentence, cough. I mean, he's 70 years old, right?
Рад приветствовать представителей государственных структур и бизнеса, экспертов и отраслевых специалистов, которые собрались на встречу делового форума в рамках БРИКС. Отмечу, что регулярное проведение таких деловых форумов, как и системная работа делового совета БРИКС, объединяющего ведущих бизнесменов и глав крупнейших компаний стран пятерки, действительно играет большую практическую роль в продвижении взаимной торговли.
Don't know why, I just hate hearing him talk. Even though you're not speaking Russian, even though he's not, even though I don't speak fucking Russian, I know he's talking shit, How you doing, Ron? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening, guys. A lot of stuff happening. Don't get me started. Alright, I'll get started. There's a Turkish drone up again, just outside Syria. Polish Persader is up. Oh, there's a Polish military Persader that's up in Poland right now, but it's probably landing in Poland, I'd imagine. There is a lot of stuff. I mean, mostly reconnaissance aircraft, tankers, cargo planes, the usual stuff. Some river joints and all that stuff. We got some P8s as well, but unusual activity, I wouldn't say so. Although we have seen unusual activity, and that NATO 21, that E3 that's that's going around in Norway is also one thing. And the factor that the Russians are now using, I mean, every disposable amount of cargo plane they have just to get supplies in, really speaks to a lot of things. But they're doing it, so. I did want to give you guys an update on the Belarusian plane that was in Colombia yesterday, but I have not. It has yet to resurface, and there's yet to be any talks about anything of any sorts of any Belarusian plane in the area, which is weird. I mean, it was also doing, extremely weird flight patterns as well, and we didn't get to see if it actually went to Cuba. I didn't get to see that. But oh, how you doing, Rose? Saudi selling Donetsk, Russian border, close to it is the front line, and is that Russian border? All the way there yet? Sorry, I don't understand your question, which is the Russian border? Are we talking about Donetsk, or are we talking about the Russian border? Sorry, I didn't understand your question there. Maybe I'm just stupid. They're not. If you're asking if they're at the Russian border at this point, no. But they're certainly doing their best. And that's not me just encouraging them on. Regular shelling back and forth, I think. Oh yeah, no, it's certainly just a regular back and forth, but I mean, there's not been many movements on the front. Shelling close to the border? What do you mean by are you trying to say that the Russians shelled Ukraine from inside of their border? Is that because that usually happens? No idea. Listen, Which you have no idea what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. What are you trying to say? Are you saying that the Russians are shelling from inside the border? What? What? My bad. Traffic stopped at the Kirk Strait Bridge reports in supposedly that was 2 hours ago. Which looks. You know, I don't know. Don't know which. I mean, they're usually shelling all along the border, so it's not uncommon to see shelling along the border. I wouldn't say so. So there is actually news here. Russian Minister of Defense claims that about 11 o'clock Moscow time, the East Simi Island, a Russian aircraft destroyed a U.S.-made Willard C-4 high-speed military boat with a landing group. I don't know if that was Ukrainian supplied. Was the U.S. personnel or not? What do you mean by Holiveka? Where's that? The whole map's been lit up before. I don't think it's anything special. I don't understand what you're saying, which are you saying inside of Russian or are you saying inside of Ukraine? I just don't understand what you're saying. Fair enough. Ooh. They may be all clear or it's Zaporizhia. Probably an all clear one. Donetsk just turned off. Here we have the smartest man alive. Checking his left hand. Checking his left hand for a watch. For time. Scratching his hand. Oh, there it is. What's the time? It's not there. Where did I leave my watch? It's still not on my hand. Where did I leave that watch? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Right. What? U.S. Army versus Chad Lukashenko, president of Belarus. All right. All right. Okay. You know what? Okay. Quite incredible. weird thing is that Prigozhin is in Africa, and he's not in Belarus, which is quite weird. Russia's begun transfer of tactical nuclear weapons to the territory of Belarus, announced today by the president of Poland, Andrzej Duda. Reckless Putin moving tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus, claims Poland. They already have. They're moving more tactical nukes, of course. They are. They're moving as many as tactical nukes as they can, so they can. Some Belarus can be completely destroyed, right? United States is urging Americans in Belarus to leave the country immediately, citing spillover risk from the war in Ukraine, including a buildup of Russian troops in. Oh, that's funny. So they're also now saying, including a buildup of Russian troops in Belarus. Right. Okay. I know that there's a drill going on in Belarus right now. It's gonna go on to the 27th. So Poland leader says Russia moving tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus, shifting regional security. They're moving more nuclear weapons to Belarus, guys. They're moving more nuclear weapons to Belarus. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Why not? You know? Hey, nuclear war, yay. What a great time. You guys love nuclear war, right? I do. Amazing. No. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. The International Atomic Energy IAEA has reported a series of explosions and shooting near the temporarily occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant over the past week. Russians are conducting drills, it appears. Or the Ukrainians are getting a lot closer to the front. But, yeah, so, real great. Oh, Chica, wow. Sorry, just looking up real quick. One second. One second. Somebody. Wow. Okay. Crimean Telegram reported that explosions and machine gun fire were heard in the Sevastopol, as well as air traffic were heard in Sevastopol. Lots of traffic on Strait Bridge was blocked. The Fox governor Sevastopol commented post, the fleet is conducting a fiery exercise. Right, alright. Ukrainian pilots start training on F-16 fighter jets in Denmark. 8 Ukrainian pilots and 56 personnel who will be trained in aircraft maintenance arrived at the Danish military airbase in Skrydstrup, according to the Danish Army Armed Forces. What? That's ballsy. That's very ballsy, giving out the location of where the Ukrainian pilots are going to be training. I hope they didn't give out the fucking location of where they're going to be training at. But I guess nothing will happen, right? I mean, What? What? That's... I've never just imagined the implication that they would do something like that, but it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, it does seem wrong, Ocean, doesn't it? Giving out the location of where the fucking training exercise is gonna be wrong. What the fuck? They didn't even the Ukrainian military that was here earlier to train in Denmark, you know, not pilots but general in training, they didn't give out the fucking location. All of a sudden they're happy giving out the personnel of the most important training that in history of this war, you know, it's gonna be conducted, that they're happy giving out the fucking location. Idiots. Alright, doesn't matter. Well, it wasn't really sensitive info, which when you consider the fact that it was on a tweet, it was a quite famous tweet. So, well, it was a very, yeah, you know, you get it. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is our great queen. You know, the Danish queen. That man back here is the prince. He's second in line. So when she goes poof, he goes yes. But this is of course the first lady and Zelensky. They met up with the queen. I will point out that we have been quite worried about the queen because she didn't usually walk with a cane. She's quite old, but she didn't usually walk with a queen. But that's okay. But she's also a painter. She's painted a picture. You know, after the war, if they ever go broke, you know, Zelensky and the first lady, they could sell this picture as it's painted by the fucking Danish queen. You know, I mean, to be honest, you know, that's gotta be a lot of fucking money. Yeah. Long live our queen. I would do anything. That she's my queen. Tell her that much. You try and kill my queen, I'll kill you first. That's what's gonna happen. Russia moved all of its Tu-22 strategic bombers away from Stolsty airfield after it was attacked by a quadricopter carrying an IED. This attack, likely launched by saboteurs from Russian soil, resulted in the complete destruction of a Tu-22 M3 aircraft. They're having problems even inside of Russia, and I believe that the amount of fires that we're seeing coming out from Russia is likely Russian saboteurs. The amount that I think is Ukrainian compared to the amount that is Russian is actually I think 90% of the fires that we're seeing in Russia is saboteurs from the country itself, which is only you know, amazing to hear about, because it just means that Russia is, you know, murals. Oh, yes. I mean, she's been the queen for quite a long time. You know, it's how long? I mean, she is the longest standing monarch ever, I think. Well, now she is obviously the queen, right? We call her the queen, from England, who died recently. May she rest in peace. I think was the longest standing monarch, and she became queen as the age of, I think it was 18 or in her very early 20s, and she became queen. Just to give you a comparison, she became queen during the time when Winston Churchill was still prime minister. You know, and that wasn't during the World War II. That was doing after World War II. He became president. I think it was, the term. He got another term, and then unfortunately the the king passed away, and she was the queen. Then she until she died here in 2022, right? She was the longest standing monarch. Now it's our queen that's the longest standing monarch. So quite cool. You think the queen was spicy? That's a sentence I haven't heard before. Fuck. I mean, what's going on? I'll give you the rundown here. Lots of things are going on. Yes, she meant your queen, Rose. Yes. Well, there are Ukrainian pilots training F-16s in Denmark right now. There are Ukrainian Independence Day. There are lots of surveillance aircraft going up. There are all kinds of things going on, really. I mean, exercises, Russia posturing up, Belarus posturing up. The U.S. told their citizens to get out of Belarus because the possibility of Poland and Lithuania and Latvia closing their borders with Belarus is quite high at this point. So a lot of stuff going on. You might want to go back a bit in the video deception just to watch what I was talking about, because if I would have to go through it all again, I'd probably puke, but that doesn't matter. Internet's gone out. Damn, so you're on the phone. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, even Putin himself gave a statement saying he was sad that the queen died. Nobody, didn't take shit from nobody. It was outstanding. Alright, well, what was I doing? Yeah, rewind a little bit. Maybe go to the start and then go up. Like, I was talking the first half hour, 20 minutes, You get the whole rundown. The videos of the elderly coming out of Roboton. What is this Roboton thing? I've heard so much about it. I mean, it's in Ukraine, right? Yeah. It's in Ukraine, right? I mean, it's a recently taken back city from Ukraine, right? That's what it is. Yeah. Is this fucking Ukrainian or Russian? I can't tell if that's Ukrainian or Russian. That looks Russian. That looks Russian. Yeah. Give it a comparison of how the Russians fight. Yeah. Cooking, just dump the food out and take the pots. Ukraine took it back. Oh, fair enough. This is how the Russians fight right here, right? You want to be on the front lines with people who could stay calm during a wartime. Remain calm. Take no shit from the enemy. Fight like hell. I have no idea. I think this is Russian, right? I mean, it appears to be Russian troops, right? Just listen to how, how mad this is. This guy sounds like he's talking Arabic, so yeah. That guy is yelling out of Rakbat, so. It's not a meme, Ocean. It's not a meme. So, I mean, it's pure chaos. It's so. Very great. Fight continues in Russians are now out of settlements but can counterattack and try to hold positions. Ukraine's armed forces increased the pressure on the western flank. The idea is to get to what the fuck? Popvika. There we go. From that side, increase gray zone. This is no man's land right here, or the counter-attacking zone, right? Yeah. Looks like a fucking wasteland over there as well. Just want to point that out. I mean, that's the Russians fight in a way that you would imagine the Iraqi army fight. Constant yelling and just, pure chaos. Listen, if it is a meme, right? Then yes, if it is a meme, right? Then it's very well set up. I mean, I doubt it, but yeah. Well, I don't know. We're gonna do this. Yeah. That's the name? What are you guys talking about? Name? It's not a meme, guys. Oh, I thought you meant like I thought you meant like I thought you said, oh wow, that's a meme. I was like, it's not a meme. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, well, it's very long. It's very long. I mean, I couldn't pronounce it. There's very little movement. System made by the architect remains valid. Changes in size of PMC and group is Belarus. No data. I don't think many people could pronounce it. No, I mean, I'm certainly not getting what people are saying today. I think it's just sometimes it's hard to remember everything I say at once. It's hard. So we do have Flash. I mean, we were hearing about the reports earlier, right? Of Flash pointing out that this. Okay, so Polish said that already started to move its. So Polish President Andrzej Duda said that Russia has already started to move some of its nuclear weapons to Belarus. Namely short-range missiles, the Associated Press reports. Short range, I wonder. Short range. Why short range, I wonder? According to the Polish president, the Russian move will change security architecture of the region and the entire NATO alliance military. Yeah, well, that's true, right? So I got the update here from Flash of today, 22. So let's get that up here, guys. Turn down the sound just a tiny bit here.
Дрожжі, звісно. Бачите, щоб це все було в кращих умовах, а не в таких.
Доця, нас вивезли, доця. Я знаю, мам, я знаю. Не плач. Ми вже все, ми вже вдома. Сашенька.
Готов.
Дозор, я Мартин на зв'язку.
Get at that! The armed forces of Ukraine eliminated more than 3,000 Russian troops last week. Suck it. Fucking hell. They give him hell. 45 Russian tanks and 79 armored fighting vehicles. What the fuck? Wow. 2 missiles and engage in 3 UAV attacks? Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Imagine for an army that's supposed to be the second greatest in the world, they launched 2 missiles and 3 UAV drones. So, it did hit, but that is, just to point out the shortage of what the Russians have. Plasma. If you do want to help out Ukraine, there's one thing you can do, and I'm not sure if there's any places particular where anywhere but there has been some in Denmark where you could donate plasma, things like that, to Ukraine. It's definitely one of the desperate needs of things that they need. Also, blood. I'm not sure if that's something that is totally available, but I have heard of some places. Maybe it's only in Poland. I wasn't sure, but there were some places I heard in Europe where you were able to do that.
Також забезпечуємо незмінність тарифів на тепло для населення в новому опалювальному сезоні. Сьогодні уряд продовжує дію ПСО, покладеного соціального обов'язку, на ринку природного газу до середини квітня 2024 року. «Нафтогаз» буде і надалі реалізовувати газ постачальникам тепла для населення з зафіксованою ціною 7,4 тисяч гривень за 1000 кубічних метрів.
That guy has a very shiny head. Ouch. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, it's not to point out the factor here that the terrible people do exist in this world, you know, and they take advantage of when people are at their most weakest and use their emotions to falter their decisions. And that's what they've done. When you're taking people emotions and you give them the false sense of hope, and any sort of hope that you can give them is what you're looking at here, and it's ridiculous and it's awful, but they do it, so whatever. But yeah, fuck her. So let's move on. Let's go back to the climate disasters going on around the world. It's going on and on and on. What I'm most worried about right now, guys, is the factor of transfers of nuclear weapons to Poland. Yeah, YouTube is a bit laggy today. I think it's having some issues, but try and refresh your page or shut it down up again. It's running up its course here, guys. If you're transferring nuclear weapons to a country, not only is it because their excuse of it is it's a strong deterrent from NATO to attack Belarus, and yeah, it is. There's only one problem. NATO is not going to be attacking Belarus at any time. There's no reason to. See, the problem with attacking when you're a NATO country is that you can't attack unless provoked, because you are obligated to be in a defense-only country. Now, you can attack if provoked and, by the way, attacked first. But that's only in the scenario that you are, in fact, attacked first. Now, I will point out to people here that may be worried about coming situation here. But I think the question that's on the tongue of many people, and some of you guys here maybe be, is Belarus going to use nuclear weapons against Poland, the Baltics, perhaps, the Swarovski Gap, something like that? And the question and the answer is, I don't know. Listen, I can give you the analysis. A country that didn't previously have nuclear weapons have now been transferred nuclear weapons. by a country that's famously at war against another country. This said country, welcome back, Deception. This said country, Russia, cannot fire off nuclear weapons against Ukraine, because that would be seen as a first act use. But if Russia is not the one firing the rockets, now if they are the ones that give, we are already in a Cold War 2.0 ocean, you know. Well, the U.S. has an embassy in Belarus, Deception, and some citizens, workers or people who just live there. What was I? Pointer is, you have a country that's losing a war. Their wanting of starting a war is that they want to win this war. They're not realizing that maybe they can't do this without firing off a rocket or two. Now they can't do that. But if a country that's also bordering that country, that has a strong alliance with said country, then gets transferred nuclear weapons, and has already stated that the president of said country wants to use nuclear weapons or any kinds of weapons if attacked. Said attack is decided by the president himself, Lukashenko. The amount of aggression that they need to conduct is also set by Lukashenko, meaning it could be a aggression started by the Russians, then set to be Ukrainian or Polish or Baltics. I still think that there's a bigger chance of an attack on Ukraine. An unprovoked false flag attack from Russia could provoke a possible inclusion of the Belarusian army. Won't make much difference, but the only difference it will make is how likely and how much Lukashenko is willing to apparently throw everything he has at the enemy to destroy. To simply destroy. So, point here is, guys, I don't know, but looking at the factors, it's becoming a very dangerous situation. The African Union AU has suspended Niger from all its activities following the military coup last month. The AU Peace and Security Council called on all its member states and the international community to refrain from any action that could legitimize the junta in Niger. Yeah. Apparently, junta is also calling up on France and the U.S. and now aligning themselves with the U.S. And France and, you know, all that shit. So, wow.
Your career, but I know for so many parents this has sadly become a reality. I want to reduce these barriers by making childcare cheap.
Childcare cheaper. Great stuff. Rishi Sunak. What a legend. Burkina Faso and Mali Air Force are reported to have arrived in Niger this weekend to assist the country in case of ECOWAS military interventions. State media in Algeria claimed today that the request by the French armed forces to Algerian airspace and military operations in Niger was denied by the president of Algeria. Abdel by Majid holy shit, the French government has since routed these claims, stating no request was ever made. So they're making up some kind of false. Breaking, Algeria has denied France's request to use its airspace for neo-colonial military interventions into against Niger. Right. So, Algeria apparently thinks that France even gives a fuck. But yeah. So there's few African countries that are actually supporting Niger. Nigerian envoy to Niger says meeting with junta over the weekend was very fruitful. Right. So we are seeing maybe some. I mean, this whole thing is confusing. Some wants to go to war, some don't. Some are betting on not wanting to go to war. Some are betting on wanting to go to war. Some are saying maybe it's not that worth it. You know, what's happening? I've got no fucking clue. But apparently they are sort of doing it back to back. All right. I'm gonna be right back. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. What are you saying? Is the said MPP sensor still working? Last time I checked. Yeah, it's back on. It's at 80 right now. There's nothing going on at said MPP, guys. There's really nothing. I mean, it's, to me, it seems very safe. It's not gonna discourage the fact that something in the future may still happen, but at the moment we seem to be okay. What's going on? Washington does not believe that war in Ukraine has reached a deadlock. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told a briefing, "We have been clear all along that the battlefield is very dynamic. This is attacking and defending taking place on both sides." Thank you for letting... Okay, that can't... Apparently, clicking on your phone on Twitter to show more doesn't work. Okay, we've been clear all along. The battlefield is very dynamic. There's an attack on long, very extended. We're seeing Ukraine continue to take territory on a methodological, systematic base, he said. All right, great stuff, guys. Good stuff. A self-propelled Caesar house are supplied to Ukraine by Denmark strike Russian positions because they are amazing. The U.S. government has approved a deal with Poland for the supply of Apache helicopters. Poland would buy 96 helicopters, 210 engines, and additional equipment for $12 billion. Other Poland purchased Abrams tanks from the United States. Cross-ride landing of an Airbus A380. Oh. Our moral collapsing. Soldiers have begun surrendering and deserting in record numbers. Lots of stories of failed operations due to Russia's soldier being drunk, high, like these guys smoking the weed stuff near Kherson from they're very late taken prisoners of war. Cannot show the video, but yeah, it's they're doing it in a beer can. I don't know what I can say, what I can see from here, or a monster or something, some kind of can. Yeah, these are top professional army men here, guys. Top professional. These are top of the line professional Russian armies. The one guy who was in the video is fat, stupid, and is on drugs. And there's one guy in the background that looks like he's well, they're all. There's only one guy in that video that looks to be somewhat military grade, right? Yeah, well, that's... The whole idea behind Russia marching on I for one support their drinking, another if it helps them suck more. Yeah. The whole idea behind Russia marching on Kyiv one day, let's all be real here, guys. It's never gonna fucking happen. I mean, they're not gonna fucking march on the front lines any day soon. They're never gonna run. They're never gonna fucking walk on the front lines of Ukraine. They're never gonna do that. You're ridiculous. They're never gonna do that. Come on. We all know that that's not gonna happen. You know, it's ridiculous to still believe in the fact that that's happening. It's hard to believe that it may even be happening. So, great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Soviets used to drink a lot on missions as well, but yeah, they were as equally bad back then as they are now. Listen, the Soviets were just as bad as the Russians are nowadays. You ever think to yourself, the time that the Soviets shot down a U.S. spy plane over its airspace, didn't go to war. No, it didn't do shit. And the reason why it didn't, I'll tell you why it didn't. Because the Soviets has always known that they were outnumbered, you know, and not only outnumbered, but outmatched in gun quality and everything. I mean, the U.S. were so far ahead, you know, technology-wise, economic-wise, everything-wise, that, you know, the Soviets trying to catch up with the U.S. was pretty much nothing. You know, it's, you know, obviously, I think the Soviets could have put on more of a show, seeing that their capabilities for building was much higher. But yeah, you know, you get it. Lukashenko's quote being, "We will use nuclear weapons instantly if needed or if necessary." Right. And also, again, Lukashenko decides, well, Putin actually decides when necessary, / Lukashenko, right? So, when necessary is when Putin or Lukashenko says so. Which is very loosely interpreted, right? As of right now, I don't know if they're probably still moving things into place. It appears that they are still moving things into place or something like that. But Yeah. I hate money, says Lukashenko. The president of Belarus added that he never dreamed of a yacht in Monaco, but when he's in Sochi, he sometimes asks Putin for a schnoocher to go fishing. I hate money. You know, the most rich thing ever is when somebody goes, "Oh, I'm not in it. I'm not in it for the money." That's the most fucking rich shit ever. You know. Or I never cared about money. I don't do it for the money. Like, this is the most rich shit ever. You know? Because when you are on a fucking bottom and you work your ass off and people ask you, are you doing it for the money? What's your answer going to be? No, I like working hard. Working my back off every day and almost crying. You know? No, I don't do it. I do it because I love working hard. No, I do it for the fucking money, right? So I can have a life, right? He hates money, I hate him. Well, if he likes money, I still hate him. Like, man, they mind football? Does he also say that he's not in it for the money? When you got a lot of money, you tend to make that, you know, like, oh, I'm not in it for the money. By the way, Elon Musk has had a very productive talk with, guess who? Putin. Now, what talk are we talking about? What is the productive talk that he's had with Putin? The talk he's had with Putin is that he is very much considering turning off the fucking internet. Well, you know what, Rose? Neymar going to Saudi, if he's offered a big fucking deal in Saudi Arabia, tell you what, he does him. But I will be honest, it's a little bit weird, right? Going to Saudi Arabia to play football. Yeah, I don't know. But I just want to tell you guys that Elon Musk is considering cutting off the internet for Ukraine. Now, it is because he's had a very productive talk with Belarus. And when you don't care about money, it's basically when you've grown up your whole life with money. Because the funny thing is, you hear about those people who's grown up without money, and then they got money, and they say, people ask them, "Are you in it for the money?" And I say, "Yeah, I want the money. I may not, you know, I enjoy what I'm doing, but I want the money, right? Because so I can survive, so I can do things in my life." And people always go, "Oh, so you're just in it for the money?" And then, yeah, like, I'm a millionaire. Yeah, sure, you know, just in it for the fucking money. Rightfully so. Win-win arrived safely in... Oh, wait, that has nothing to do with what I was reading about. U.S., Japan, and South Korea condemned China's dangerous and aggressive actions. In a significant diplomatic move, the U.S., Japan, and South Korea jointly issued a statement condemning China's dangerous and aggressive actions.
With the leaders of Japan
and
The U.S., Japan, and South Korea have jointly issued a statement condemning China's dangerous and aggressive actions in the South China Sea. The statement came after a summit hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden, where he met with the leaders of Japan and South Korea at Camp David. The summit aimed to strengthen ties between the three nations amid China's growing influence and nuclear threats posed by North Korea. Within the joint statement, the three countries pledged to consult with each other in times of crisis swiftly and to coordinate their responses to regional challenges, provocations, and threats that affect their shared interests.
I'll give Biden this one. I think he's done a great job when it comes to Ukraine and this recent deal
Stronger
between
language about
Japan
China's
and South
actions
Korea.
than expected in the statement might
He's done a
prompt a
pretty good
fierce
job when it comes
response
to
by
that.
Beijing. The statement specifically addressed recent events in the South China Sea, where China has asserted territorial claims that other nations contest. It said, regarding the dangerous and aggressive actions we recently witnessed by the People's Republic of China in support of its illegal maritime territorial claims in the South China Sea, we strongly oppose any attempt to unilaterally change the status quo in the Indo-Pacific waters. Before the summit, China criticized the event and said that the countries should not prioritize their security at the expense of others' security interests and regional peace and stability. Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Wang Wenbin said, "The international community has its own judgment as to who is creating contradictions and increasing tensions."
Yes. So, that's going on right now, guys. That's happening. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a quiet night right now. It's not too much happening. Appears as it's a bit windy in Ukraine. That's all that's really going on. Anything else we need to talk about? You guys, oh yeah. I just talked about Elon Musk. You guys hear about Elon Musk? I was like, I just said it. Cutting off the internet for Ukraine. Go back? Alright, fair enough. See you later, Witchy. Now, the thing that worries me the most, right? Russian minefield in Ukraine are the size of West Germany, says head of German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock. There are huge minefields in the east of Ukraine, which create problems for the Ukrainian army. Yep. These are low dot mines as well. I mean, they're very dangerous to operate, and they have a very short fuse, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, any mine has a short fuse. They're meant to go off when you tread on them, right? Or drive over them, or... Yeah, you know, you get it. Fucking fuck off. Media reports the death of famous Italian singer Toto Cutugno. According to the Italian edition of ASNA, a singer died at the age of 80 in a hospital in Milan, where he's recently been hospitalized. Rest in peace, mate. Rest in peace. No, he limited the Ukrainian ability to do much when he turned off the internet during their counteroffensive. He hadn't completely turned it off, but now he apparently is probably gonna completely turn it off, right? Which can only mean one thing. Exactly. Now, but the implications of if you turn off the internet and the systems that Ukraine used to actively hit the Russian army, then it's going to be a lot harder for how the fuck are people even conducting business with Elon anymore when you're so fucking, you know? You don't get more pro-Russian when you turn off the whole internet for a whole country fighting against the Russians. I don't get what his security interests are. I don't have no idea what the fuck he's gonna get out of doing what he's about to be doing. I have no idea exactly what he's gonna get out of doing that, you know? No, literally no idea. I mean, what he's gonna get out of doing that, right? I mean, it's, it's because what is he expecting getting business wise? He can get nothing business wise out of Russia, right? Other than raw materials, he's a car manufacturer that produces, electric cars. He's not going to be wanting a cheap oil prices because he doesn't to buy into oil. Other than the raw material that he may want to import for his, space missions or cheap Russian space material, if that's what he wants. Get some sweet deals right there. Yeah, I mean, that's my implications of it, and I have no idea why he would want to do that. He could probably get a lot more deals from the West, keeping Ukraine's internet on. I mean, that's what I don't get. If he kept Ukrainians' internet on, he could, in fact, get a lot more interest from the West. They could have given him so much. I mean, what about a fucking tax break? They could have given him a fucking tax break. They said, you don't have to pay shit taxes. No fucking taxes anywhere. No taxes. He'll become a trillionaire within minutes, right? As he's been threatened. Well, I mean, I don't see how Putin could threaten Elon Musk. I mean, there's nothing. How would he? I don't think Putin is going to be threatening Elon Musk unless you're talking about the West threatening Elon Musk with something. I couldn't see that happening. No, but I mean, yeah, that's also a possibility if he's been threatened, but I don't see how that would incur or happen. Just don't. Yeah, you get it. They're so smart. They're stupid. The Russians, or yeah, they're. I mean, I'm actively buying a Tesla nowadays. Would basically be supporting. Oh, that's actually a hard thing to say. I can do that. Fallout window. I mean, listen, the Elon Musk can't be touched by Russia. That doesn't really happen. He doesn't live in Russia, so no, he's not. I don't think so. So, no, I would doubt that. I would doubt that. But yeah, it's certainly it's something. It's something. It is weird, It is very weird. It's very, very weird. You can see to my think. If I was Elon, I would have definitely gone through and said I could keep the internet on for Ukraine in exchange for maybe this or that, or like profiting from a war is not unheard of, and he could have made a lot of money out of it, but I think at this point, what he's doing is out of own self-interest. So I think what in reality Elon is doing is out of his own self-interest and his own ideologies. So you never know if he's directly a fucking psychopath. He certainly seems a bit robotic from time to time, but he's also from South Africa. I mean, there's nothing. U.S. and South Africa famously have quite a good history, so I wouldn't really see what's happening. I mean, the U.S. has been a bit rough against him, but I don't know why that would deter him to go to Russia. But the U.S. maybe have been just a tiny bit too rough to him. Maybe he's tired of the U.S. I mean, that's also a thing, right? So, but it happens, and yeah. let's see. Let's see. If he does turn off the internet in Ukraine, what implications that could have would be detrimental. I'm sure of it. It's also, more than 42,000 Starlink terminals are now used in Ukraine by military, hospitals, businesses, and aid organizations. So, I mean, it's not only on March 7th, General Mark. Oh, fucking Christ. That's a fucking pay to read. God, fuck off. Ukraine's increasing dependency on Starlink sparks concerns over Elon Musk's unilateral control. Elon Musk's satellite internet technology, Starlink, have become an essential component of Ukraine's communication infrastructure, causing rising concerns among officials regarding the heavy reliance on the signal source. Starlink, a product of Musk SpaceX, has been instrumental in Ukraine's battle decisions making process amidst the Russian invasion. Ukrainian officials, however, are growing anxious about the country's dependence on the service. Musk's authority to control its access, the New York Times reported. Satellite internet technology delivers high-speed internet to even the most remote corners of the world, including war zones and areas affected by natural disasters. Starlink I can't read that, is in part due to the frequency of SpaceX launches and the fact that there are currently more than 4,500 Starlinks in orbit. Yet Musk's almost totally control of satellite internet and unpredictable behavior has sparked global concerns. He can shut down Starlink services to any customer or country, a privilege he has exercised multiple times in Ukraine during the ongoing war, raising security concerns. The apprehension has intensified as no government or government has seems to match the reach of Starlink. The U.S. Department of Defense and other nations' military heavily rely on Starlink, while other potentially satellite internet providers fail to match its capabilities. Musk's agencies and information Starlink could potentially gather have amplified fears further. Ukraine's officials have explored alternatives, but acknowledged that none can currently rival Starlink. Several countries have raised concern about Elon Musk's power over technology with American officials. However, little has been said publicly, mainly to avoid the risk of offending Musk. The man is literally in control of the fucking world's fate. You have the world's fate, see you later, Ocean. Have a good time. The world's fate is in the hands of Elon Musk. Or at least part of it, right? Fuck. The West, Europe needs to get a lot smarter, a lot quicker. Because what we need to do is give Elon Musk the deal of the fucking century. And we need to tell him that, I know you like Russia, but look at this right here, I can give you this much, I can provide this much, I can do this much for you, you can make this much money. And Elon, seeing this, if he says no to that, we know it's because of his ideologies. I personally believe that his ideologies is what I believe is concerning about. But in reality, if we may provide some systems and tax breaks or things like that to him, we could potentially reroute him and make him, let's say, ours again, right? I mean, the man is in the fate of. There's one man right now, tech billionaire Elon Musk, in control of the fate of Ukraine, or possibly, right? Yeah. Fuck me. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna take a break here. I'll be back in some time. Yeah. I just gotta real quick. I'll be right back. Hey. Alright, I'm back. Oh, God. A big run today. Very far. It was very hot. It was a bad idea, but it doesn't matter. How far are we right now in... Well, I mean, I think if the internet gets cut off, then we may just be fucked. So you got a lot of, like, you know, a lot of convoys and vehicles when Biden is on the move. I tell you that much. There's a lot, you know.
$950 is now typically treated as a misdemeanor offense. One of the main intentions behind Prop 47 was to reduce overcrowding in prisons and jails by decreasing the number of individuals.
So, Proposition 47, the law that sort of theft of $950 and below is a misdemeanor. So $950 is a misdemeanor. You could steal a fucking TV for a $950, and that's not a misdemeanor, you fucking idiots. So what I got the government in California to stop the amount of people in jail. Yeah, no. If they're stealing, they're stealing. Ain't, you know, a misdemeanor, it's stealing. It's breaking the fucking law. A lot of black people there as well. I ain't afraid to say it. That was a lot of black people doing it. There were some white people in there as well. I'm sure they only showed the video of the black individuals, but, you know, times are tough for everybody. Sure, it was kind of like a showing the only the black people is a hardline statement, and I'm not saying that. The videos that were shown were mainly black people, but I'm sure those videos were not. I'm sure wasn't just black. I'm sure that there was some white people in there as well. So, you know, it's a misdemeanor is not a fucking misdemeanor. You steal, you fucking steal, you know? And somebody was out here, you know? Selling Kish UNAX is not a felony? What are you talking about? What is Kish UNAX? California is basically turning into a playground for people who don't really want to follow the law. That's what California is turning into. Deception. What do you mean? What is Kids UNX? What is that? Uh, uh, yes, it is. Trafficking kid is a fucking felony. I don't care. I don't care if they have a fucking saying it's not a fucking felony. Of course, it's a fucking felony. You're gonna get arrested for trafficking a fucking kid. Of course, you're gonna get arrested for trafficking a fucking kid. First of all, if you're trafficking a fucking kid, you gotta kidnap the kid. Kidnapping the kid is a fucking felony. I don't care what you say. So yes, it's a fucking law, and if it isn't, then I'm very surprised. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't, but you know. No, it's resisted a child trafficking until they couldn't. So it used to be, apparently it used to be a free strike, under a free strike system. it used to be a under the free strike system. Today, it is a felony in the California today. It used to be under a free strike system. Now it is a felony. Well, let's not talk about that. I mean, if it is, that's fucking insane. Pedophiles have lives too, you know. Pedophiles are okay, you know. Pedophiles are pedophiles, you know. We have to respect pedophiles as well, you know. No, we fucking don't. So to me, I'll put them in a fucking death penalty, you know. Give them a lot of fucking years. The rights of a human being. It's a hard line choice. Anyone who doesn't commit a felony, listen. I mean, if you steal something, I'm not saying death penalty. You are smuggling a child or having intimate things with a child. I don't think that maybe the death penalty shouldn't be a quote unquote first rule, but a long prison sentence and a very long rehabilitation program would be necessary. Yeah, it's a lot. So I mean, I've got no idea what's true or what's not. All I know, guys, is that, well, it's a bit fucked up nowadays. Apparently, we're siding with the pedophiles. So, but enough of that. We'll move on. I seriously doubt that human trafficking and child trafficking is a felony, but it's not a felony, but you know, we'll go with it. We'll go with it for now. Then. Apparently. Putin said U.S. dollar is losing its global role in objective and responsible process. Right. Yeah. The U.S. Using its dollar. So here we have a progression of the ruble. Don't look over here. We're just gonna block out what's going on over here, guys. Please don't. Well, get this off the screen now. Get it off the screen, goddammit. This is actually upside down. Yeah, we accidentally put it upside down. Which is of course a mistake. We will fix that. We'll fix that immediately. Here you go. Now it is the right way up, and you can see that during this war, we've actually gotten a lot more money throughout the war. No, but listen here. Point is here, guys, that you would think that the U.S. is certainly losing money, and I would understand if you think that, you know. I understand if you think that the U.S. is set to lose money. The U.S. dollar has weakened throughout the years, but countries like India, countries like Thailand, and other of those nations who were before were quite more of a Russian-aligned kind of people, and especially India, who would famously like to buy things from Russia. Not only does Russia actually the realization is, what was I saying? What? I just lost my thread right there. All right. Now, India wants to buy Russian equipment, but it bought Russian equipment. Then, what happened? They didn't get it. Right? Well, now India is thinking, well, we didn't get our stuff. We ordered it a long time ago. We didn't get it. What's going on? But then they realized that, but people who buy from the U.S., they get their stuff a lot earlier. So, what does India want to do now? Well, they realizing that maybe buying stuff from the U.S. and having a closer relationship with the U.S., seeing that the U.S. and India has a common enemy, China and Pakistan. And if the India can then get, equipment that is beyond anything you've seen before, perhaps, because then Pakistan and China would not have those systems. Pakistan, which is threatening India's existence as well, would now be facing off against U.S.-made equipment on its border, which, so I think India is definitely moving towards the U.S. I'm seeing the first things of that. Indonesia already a very, Philippines and Indonesia kind of a pro-Western kind of U.S. Also moving, the U.S. is set to make a lot of money, guys. The reason why I'm saying this is we've got a lot of people realizing just how shit Russian equipment is. Now, it may move Chinese and it may move U.S., but it certainly won't move to Russia. Russia has pretty much lost all of its meritism, right? Can't really give anybody anything anymore because nobody wants to buy from Russia anymore. India, a non-aligned country, could be turning towards, and then people are saying, they're probably going to turn towards, China or either China or U.S., but India wouldn't turn to China to buy Chinese-made things because India hates China. They have a feud, The U.S. then would be the only standing option. So think about it. India invests a lot of money in the U.S. economy, right? Or not only in its economy, but in its, weapons dealing. I think, Biden could easily go to India and say, look, you realize you hate China, we hate China. Russia's not giving you your shit. We'll reimburse you, and you'll want to buy everything from us, right? And then boom, right there, you're now taking a Russian half ally, a neutral country, India now having a previous relationship with Russia, and take that back, take India to you, despite having somewhat of a internal feud. The U.S. and all those have some kind of internal feud, and they could then easily turn India very much pro-Western when it's alone between two countries that really hate it. China and Pakistan hate India. It's alone against those two countries. So what it wants to do is, if it could get not only U.S. guarantees, but it could also maybe get some U.S. personnel inside of its country. Think about it. Anyways, guys, I am gonna leave you guys here tonight. There's not a lot going on for me tonight to report on. I've reported on pretty much anything. If you got anything you want to report to me, go to my Twitter and you can get the report up there. Other than that, have a good night and I will see you on the flip side.